Hello, students, and welcome. Today, we are going to explore a really beautiful phenomenon of light. It's something we often see in the sky just after it rains. Yes, a rainbow, so full of color and wonder. But have you ever really stopped to wonder about this? The light from the sun, it looks white to us, right? Or maybe a little bit yellow. So, where do all these beautiful, vibrant colors of the rainbow actually come from? It's a bit of a puzzle, isn't it? Well, let's find out. So this is the main question we're going to answer today. How can one single thing, something we just see as plain white light, create something so vibrant and colorful like a rainbow? The answer, you'll see, is a really fascinating process in physics. Okay, let's dive right in. The whole secret is in what happens when white light passes through a different medium, something transparent, like this triangular piece of glass that we call a prism. Now look here. When a single beam of white light goes into the prism, something truly amazing happens. It splits. It splits into this beautiful band of different colors on the other side.
Now, this process, this splitting of white light into all the colors it's made of, it has a proper scientific name. We call it dispersion. Please make a note of this definition. It's very important. Dispersion is the splitting of light into its component colors.
And what about the result of dispersion, this beautiful band of colors that comes out from the prism? Well, that is called a spectrum. So, you see, the process of dispersion of white light produces a spectrum. These are two very, very important words for you to remember. So, the most crucial point here is that white light isn't just one color. It's actually a mixture of many different colors all blended together. Now, let's take a closer look at the colors in the spectrum and, very importantly, the order in which they always appear. Okay. So the spectrum is made up of 7 distinct colors, and they always appear in the exact same order. We have a very simple way to remember this order using an acronym, VIBGYOR. That stands for violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. It's a super easy way to remember the sequence of all the colors, isn't it? But why? Why do the colors split up in the first place? Well, it's because each color of light actually bends at a slightly different angle when it passes through the glass. And here's the key thing to remember, and this is very important for your exams. Violet light bends the most, and on the other end, red light bends the least. This difference in bending, or what we call deviation, is exactly what spreads the colors out and creates the spectrum. So how do we actually know all of this for sure? I mean, this was a huge scientific discovery. Let's now look at the brilliant scientist who was the first one to demonstrate this and prove, once and for all, that white light is made of many colors. And that person was the famous Sir Isaac Newton. He was the very first person to conduct this experiment. He took a simple glass prism, he let sunlight pass through it, and he was the first one to see and to properly study the beautiful spectrum that it created. But, Newton didn't just stop there. He was a brilliant scientist. So to really prove his theory, he asked a very clever question. If one prism can split white light into colors, can a second prism join them back together? So what he did was he placed another prism, but this time upside down, or inverted, right in the path of the spectrum. And guess what happened? As all the colors passed through the second prism, they recombined, and what came out the other side was a single beam of white light again. This was absolutely conclusive proof. So, this very clever experiment proved his theory without any doubt. Sir Isaac Newton concluded that sunlight, the very same light that appears white to our eyes, is actually a mixture of these 7 different colors, the colors of VIBGYOR. What a truly remarkable discovery that was. Now let's go back to where we started. Remember our question about the rainbow? Now that we understand the science of dispersion, we can finally connect all these ideas back to that beautiful sight we see in the sky. So you see, what Sir Isaac Newton did in his room with a small glass prism is not just some experiment for the lab. This exact same principle, the dispersion of light, is actually happening on a huge, massive scale in our own atmosphere. But wait a minute. In nature, we obviously don't have giant glass prisms floating around in the sky, right? So what is it that acts like a prism to split sunlight? And how does all this lead to that beautiful arc, the rainbow that we see? Well, that is the very interesting topic we will explore in our next explainer. Thank you for your attention today, students.